I'm trying to connect it. Black Friday, you know?
Yeah, true. I also wanted to buy in Black Friday because I lost mine.
I got in a very good price here. Half
Can I
price.
start it?
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bridge Summit. Here we're going to talk about trends with two special guests, Melissa and Felipe. And now I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves, and then we can start the panel. Thank you, Melissa and Felipe, to be here. So who can start it?
I can start. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Melissa. I am the Global Head of Marketing of The Bridge, and I'm here to share with you a bit of the trends that are coming for next year. So welcome again. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat.
Thank you, Meli. My name is Felipe. Happy to be here again, sharing with the audience some of the trends, some of the information that we have here. And I am leading currently the sales and partnerships area here in Brazil and also North America, most recently. And welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Fe. Thank you, Meli. So first, I'd like to start with like a question that's super important for the trends, and it's talk about the main transformation that the pandemic impacted in our segment. Can you share with us a little bit about this transformation that the pandemic brings?
Okay, maybe I can go ahead. I can start. I think the pandemic brought us like an overview that technology is key to develop business, no matter which industry you are working at, but technology is going to be key to start developing ahead. And also this process accelerated this digital transformation scenario, making companies to adopt fast. Otherwise, they couldn't like run operations if they wouldn't incorporate technology. So I guess that's the main thing. One of other things, that brought the digital transformation from my side, I guess, is like the need of digital professionals in order to implement these digital transformation strategies. So there was a huge demand of people in the tech, in the digital world, in order to bring to life all these projects. And finally, I guess I could see a change on how the world or the globalization is impacting as well in the way we work. We are going to like really now a global environment where we work with people from all over the world. Like I think like the Bridge is a good example of that. There are no borders anymore in a way to access different talent. So we work remote. We start caring about other things as well. So I think that's one of the main things. Those are one of the main things that I could see in the past year.
Yes, I fully agree with Meli. Actually, I was giving an interview before we started here for a client that was asking a little bit of how the marketing is behavior itself. So how the formats impact with the pandemic, and the answer was the same as Meli brought. So the hiring format changed a lot. The flexibility to hire people from anywhere to work with the comfort of their homes, to educate themselves with remote graduation, with remote specialization, that are points that are bringing a lot of new professionals to the market. Because nowadays it's very unproportional, it's asymmetric, the offer versus the demand of the professionals. We are seeing a lot of new positions of the market and less professionals. So this answer your question, Adi. What we are seeing is new professionals born, aiming to work in this kind of segment that we do here: technology, digital products, and data. Okay.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Actually, you just talk about the the new professionals and everything. So I would like to ask you more, looking back, more looking for this year, like 2021, and what you can bring, what you exactly were the new formats that emerged, like the new position were born, like in your experience and everything, and how the advancements of technology, and if this impact the technology, the relationships, and if it's still impacting the next year. Do you have this vision already?
Yes. We are seeing this kind of positions as a strategic role. They are not more just technical. They're not just analytic. They are business driven, numbers oriented. So a professional nowadays in this segment must know, it's not anymore a nice to have. It's a must have understanding of the business, understand of the trendings of the segments that they are looking for. So the positions and the functions that are more demanding in these days are data, business intelligence, in order to preview, to have a step back of the marketing behavior, and also, of course, the digital product and development. But three of these positions are being requested to understand more deeply of the market and the business, not only the technical stuff, I believe Melly could complement.
Yeah, just to complement, I think giving a really simple example, for example, making valid the redundancy. If a small business wouldn't have any digital channel, let's say a small restaurant, any digital channel or to sell like through Uber Eats, which is popular here, or Glovo, let's say, with the pandemic, they were forced to close the restaurants, right? Or let's say a small shop, the same, they will have to close. So the only way or the only channel that will have to sell will be online. So some of the small businesses is a good example because they had to adapt fast. And to adapt fast, you need to learn. You need to know how to implement this. Even like if you want to implement Instagram or just to buy the app, you need to do it fast. So there was like a period of adapting the business and like integrating the technology in order to survive. What happened in small companies was replicated in big companies. I think good example are also like the banks. Some of the banks were never really forced to implement like online solutions because they were comfortable, like the biggest banks. We are big, so we don't need to adapt that fast because we are big. But now they didn't have the choice. They had to do it fast. So what happened is that in order to for them to reply or respond fast, they had to hire a lot of technical people to support their programs, their technology in-house. This is what Felipe was saying. They needed a lot of people with technical skills. And what happened for this year is that they collected a lot of information. They collected a lot of data. And the data, now it's bringing for 2022, how can we become a data-driven business? How can we make decisions that actually will impact in revenue, in profit for the company based on all the data that we collected as a consequence of the technology we implemented in the company? So yes, for the next year, it's expected that the companies are going to hire more people focusing on strategy, yes, but with a good understanding in the technical side, because I need a data engineer, I need a data scientist that knows how to analyze the data that I have here. But it's just an amount of numbers. I don't have any insight out of it, but I need those insights in order to make a scalable decision. So just to complement, I think it's a bit, we had to assess first the technical side, but now we have all the information. What do we do with that information to grow the businesses? So I think this is like what happened on 2021 and what's coming like 2022 and the next years.
Okay, I think it's a really interesting question, and also your answer and everything, because it's a challenge for this industry and everything. And talk about industry in terms of that, I really want to know like from your experience and your journey and your opinion, which segments in the industry are growing most and why?
I guess you can have a fast overview on that because you're like in contact every day, and then I can complement.
What we are seeing nowadays is the It's traditional segments changing the way they are doing business, focusing in digital transformation, and also business that was born already in the digital era. So the segments that we are seeing more demanding are especially in this order. Fintechs nowadays, some companies are calling like fincares, not only fintechs, because they are like taking care of your money, your investment, and your wealth. Fincare, I love this concept. Retail, especially in e-commerce, education, remote education, okay, and healthy, okay. So these are the most segments demanding nowadays in this sequence, okay. What else would like to add? One interesting thing that I'm seeing is traditional segments positioning themselves like techs. So the companies like that used to have a position in the market as a retail, they are now a retail tech. The hospitals and laboratories for health are not just hospitals; they are health techs. Okay, so this is one point that are showing to the market that technology is necessary to keep going and to change their business, to be more wealthy, to be more updated, and to have high skilled professionals with them. Okay.
Hey, I would like to ask you just one thing about like fintechs. You said like the fintechs the first of your list, but why exactly is the first? You know, like the main reason that do you think fintechs is the one in that classification?
Because the population are changing their minds how they do business, and they take care with their money. It's not anymore the banking money. They want to invest. They want to understand. They want to have less fees, more less fines. Okay. They want to exchange the money with other hands more quickly and more cheaper. Okay. So the advent of the Pix here in Brazil, it was a great advance, because we don't need to pay any more fees. Okay, I can transfer money for you in the same time. Okay, the way we are investing, they changed. Okay, we can put our money in other companies. We are almost partner of these companies. So these are some reasons, because of the fintechs and fincares are hiring more nowadays, okay, because they need the technical backup to absorb this huge demand to update the way they are doing business in web, in apps, and remote stuffs. Okay.
Thank you.
No.
Just to complement on that, I think like fintechs are growing also because people care much more now about what happens in the finance side, in the financial side, like personal finances. I'm more concerned now that I would be like in the past. And also, if you see it like from the business perspective, as a business opportunity, banking, healthcare are industries where you find most of the inefficiencies in the market. So the more inefficiencies you have, the more opportunities to create business you have. So this is why like actually the segments that are growing are basically related to banking. Fintechs are still like a banking service. You know, they have as a core technology, but they are a banking service. Insurtechs, they provide you insurance as well, but they are insurtechs because the core of the business is technology. So if you see that actually what's coming, like what's growing that fast, is that industries that you find most of the inefficiencies. Why is not like I don't know, a company that it produces massively consumer goods, is you don't see a lot of technology, because sometimes the technology that they use is just to improve one part of the value chain. No, they don't have the technology as part of the core of the business. But now I think it's booming, especially the startups. They provide you technology as a core of the business, and in the segments where you find most of the inefficiencies. And another field I think it's going to grow a lot. It's all these kind of companies that are addressing something related to the climate change, because we saw now, I think through the pandemic, that the world is changing, that we are harming the world a lot, and that this is being translated like in illness and stuff like that. So also the new generations are more concerned about that. So if you see, traditional industries are developing technology to address those issues too.
Okay, thank you, Ellie. Thank you for bringing your point. Actually talk about that, like the behavior and everything for the next generation. I think it's important to ask you, like, again, if it's your opinion and your journey, what types of behavior and attitude do you think the companies need to start like having in 2022? You can give that a tips or say what you think.
I think if you see it from the company side, saying that we work with people, right? We try to hire people every day. And just to complement what Fez said at the beginning, that the demand is way higher than the offer. Just to give you like a number, actually the demand worldwide is 3 times bigger than the offer that we have at the moment. So actually everybody's fighting for talent. So we need to find this middle point of really understanding, because I cannot, as a company, I cannot be the one that it's inflexible and I just say, this is what I'm gonna offer, and I don't care what you think, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to hire anyone. And what's coming with the next generations, I think one of the things we're valuing a lot, and I don't include even my generation, but the ones that are coming, it's like the sense of purpose. Like now, younger people want to go to work where they find purpose, that actually they feel that they are making an impact. So that's really key. If you're able to transmit that purpose in your company culture, I think you have already like one check in your job description. The other thing is like the flexibility of being able to work remote or like in a hybrid way. Why? Because this actually helps us to optimize our time, give us the freedom to manage our time, give us the freedom to have this balance in like work balance and life balance, personal, like this whole balance that maybe in the past was not needed, because for example, baby boomers were a generation that they were looking for stability. But now actually new generations don't look for 100% stability, they look for more for freedom and quality of life. So I think that taken into account as well. And then of course, I will not say like the salary part is the key, but we need to also think that we need to provide fair opportunities with competitive salaries, because we are competing in a market where the demand is 3 times higher than the offer. So again, if I'm gonna go with the worst salaries in the market, of course, my time to hire someone is gonna be really, really big, and I'm not gonna be able to have anyone. But I would say purpose, I would say flexibility, and then also like giving like good working conditions, like a proper offer in order to be able to retain talent.
Perfect, Meli. I believe you covered the main points. Thank you for sharing your perspective. It was accurate. I would like just to add that how proud we are in our generation of the younger generation aiming to work for a mission, for a proposal, as Meli said, to give an impact, a positive impact to the world, to the society, to the environment. So I believe the new businesses that are going to born will be aimed to this kind of scenario, okay? Not only for the money, not only for the status anymore. They're going to work and to put efforts for a mission, okay? And also, we are seeing a lot of demanding for professionals that has a more holistic profile, not only technical, but also communicative, because it used to be a contrast. You are either technical, either sales guy, okay? So nowadays, to be successful, to have a longer life in the professional life, you need to be more hybrid, Okay, you need to understand how to behave, how to communicate, and also how to deal with numbers and tools. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's totally perfect. We were hearing about that on the first day of the summit. Actually, if we think if I think as a professional and what companies are going to demand like in the future, basically, I think I always said like technical skills are kind of easy to learn because if the person has potential and they understand the basis, you as a company can provide them the tools to learn and boost their technical skills. However, soft skills are way harder to develop because it's not something that you change from one day to the other. So companies are going to start looking at people that actually have some specific soft skills. um, Felipe already mentioned it in not in this answer, but before, this strategic side, solving problem, people, good communication skills, because those things cannot be replaced by technology. No matter what technology, how good your AI is, still this is not possible to be replaced by like by a machine. So this is going to be really highly valued in the market. But of course, there's also this part of understanding how technology moves around, you know, as an enabler in the profession or in whatever you're doing.
Perfect, perfect, Melly and Fe. Thank you very much. Actually, I just want to ask you like the last question. It's more like to close here. So if you have like a sentence for 2022, if you can say something about technology or trends or anything, what's supposed to be your sentence for next year?
In my opinion, I believe a good sentence would say, it's not the stronger or the higher that survives, is the one that most adapt faster. Okay, so in this world we need to adapt to survive and to have a long life. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like it. You, Melly.
For me, I will say use technology to optimize your time and focus on the main thing in your business and take care of people, because actually people are the one that changes companies. So I would just go for that, because people are basically who make companies bring to life their dreams, their goals. And so it's important to not lose that focus, no matter how good the technology you implement is. If you don't have good people that believe in your mission and that can bring actually what the CEO might have in his head. So I will go with that.
Perfect. But basically here I can understand that people is the key for like the future, and like it was always the key, but now we can pay attention more and more in this. But thank you very much, Mary and Felipe, for your for being here, for joining us. And yeah, so let us know if you have like some question in the chat, or we have a lot of vacancies here. Then you can see, you can we have a lot of people hired here. So thank you very much. And yeah, bye. Thank you.
Thanks to you,
It was
Nati.
a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you
Was
for
a
the
pleasure.
invite.
Was
Mary,
our pleasure.
it was a pleasure to share with you. Thank you, Nati.
Thank you.
Bye bye, guys.